I have so many cables. OiOi, ladies and gentlemen. OiOi, JDs. OiOi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. And it's spooky season. Yeah. Halloween, October, best time of year for me. Summer I normally really enjoy, but deep down Halloween is like the best time of year for me. I love it so much. So many ideas, so many times to dress up, the colours, the new flavours of hot chocolate you get in Acosta. Please and thank you. And we're doing something a bit different this time. We're doing something that's Halloween orientated. So if you want to do it for Halloween, you're more than welcome to do so. My look is inspired by two different characters, personalities, people, whatever you want to call them or however they want to be identified as. For this look, you will either want to cover your eyebrows or shave. So if you're going to cover them, I'll have a link up in this corner here of where you can find my brow coverage tutorial. I've got new light set up, hence why the shadows are behind me. Got a desk lamp up on a desk here that is kind of pointing a yellow light towards the ceiling, so it creates this nice warmy glow. And I've got two smaller white lights aiming up at my face. Then I've got one light on my mirror aiming up at me, and it's kind of got this nice spooky effect going on. Plus it makes my mustache look more prominent, and I'm all about that light. So let's just cut the bullshit and go right into it, shall we? So obviously last week I did a brow coverage tutorial, and now I've shaven my brows off. I'm so glad they're gone, because you may like brows, I don't. My brows are an issue, and I'm so glad they're gone. First things first, I'm going to put some of these Velcro hair strips into my hair, just to kind of keep my hair out of my face for this. I don't buy a lot of single eyeshadow colors, just because it's a lot of space that can be used up very quickly, and palettes, I have their own little section in my makeup box that they just go into, and that's them sorted and away. It needs to be cleaned again. I also need a bigger, I need like a drawer for makeup now, because I counted my palettes. I have almost 40 makeup palettes, and I just saw that Beauty Bay launched another one called Sunset Rise and something like that. And the colours are actually really fucking nice, and I really want the palette as well. So I'm like gaining palettes here every day here. Yes, fun. As I go for the makeup, I'm just going to describe what type of product I'm using and the colour of it. I'm not going to be telling you the brand or anything like that, just because I don't want people to go out and buy specific products that they're going to use once for Halloween and never touch again. If you do want to know the products, what I will do is I'll put them into a Word document or something like that, and I'll just link it, like a Google Drive document or something like that, and just link it into the description of my videos, because let's be honest, they can take up a lot of space, and I don't want people to be bored of reading them. And I think that's also the best way of doing it, because then I can also link you to a site where you can buy it, or you could just find that you have a product that has a similar color in it. Now, primer. This is a green color correction primer, 3 pumps on the back of my hand, and that's enough to cover the entirety of my face. I have got into watching Bailey Saren recently, and I am loving her Murder, Mystery and Makeup Mondays. And then you've also got Robert Welsh, who does makeup and ghost story Mondays, which I also love. I've got a long list in my watch later playlist of just their videos that I'm going to watch the shit out of this Halloween, because I do not like watching horror films. I find horror films, they trigger my paranoia, and which is then triggered by my anxiety, and it's just like an endless circle of a nightmare that goes on, but the nightmare happens when I'm awake, and I don't like that life, so I am very much just staying away from horror films. My classic go-to films for Halloween are Addams Family and Addams Family Values, and the occasional Corpse Bride. But horror films, nah, fuck that shit. Now I'm going to go in with a white cream paint. Next I'm going to go in for a white face paint. Obviously this one's rather large. You can use whatever method you want. I'm going to see about using the method of using one of these little brushes. Oh, actually this is rather awesome. You don't need to be strategic with the placing, just cover your entire face. Now obviously I'm going to be coating my facial hair because I can't be shaving it, and I like my facial hair too much. You can just see I'm doing circular motions over my beard hair, and that generally helps with covering. And I'm just going to coat my hair as well, because I want to give myself as much of a face shape as possible. Just really quickly, I'm going to go in and put some of this black eyeliner onto my eyelids. This will help with what we do coming back to it later. Also, you can be messy with this as well because, well, don't be too messy. Don't draw a dick on your forehead. Keep it on your eyelids. Then I'm just gonna just blend it out with any type of brush you can use, as long as it's big enough. I'm just using this as basically a lid primer. I'm just gonna go and round off the shapes a wee bit. And I look a bit like a ghost, like a clown. Yeah, we're doing a clown. But not just any clown. We're doing a clown that I used... We're doing a clown that is a combination of inspiration from Eva Destruction from season 3 of Dragula. Or you might know her from her iconic performance of The Laughing Drag, which I'll have linked here as well. And Jasmine Bean. If you don't know who Jasmine Bean is, well, if you've watched my previous videos, you will know that I've got a couple of her products she created called Candy Cosmetics. So now I'm going to go in powder. I'm just going to use my trusty talcum powder. Sweep that over everything. When you're doing your face, don't breathe. And also close your eyes. Any excess, sweep it off. Because the excess can actually mess around with makeup, with the cream. Next, we are going to go in and define it. So normally people would use a black eyeshadow. I have a history of fucking things up very quickly with black. So instead, I'm going to be using basically a black watercolor. Now hear me out. The reason I'm using the black watercolor is because when it's dried down, if you just swirl a makeup brush into it, you can actually get pigment out of it. You don't need to have water to activate it. So I'm just going to create carved out cheeks. I'm going to focus the most amount of pigment in the corner of the cheek area so that it looks deepest here. This is the issue with black, I did it way too harsh. So I'm just going to take in some of the white cream again and just go in and basically just dab over it. Because I want the definition to still be there, but I don't want to look like a skull. Hey, there we go. We just want it to be a bit of like a grey tone on the face. Nothing like black. Which is why fucking dealing with black is so annoying. I'm just gonna go into the outer corner of the temple here and create like an indent. I'm kind of fortunate in the sense that my forehead, just my skull in general, I can make out where these things are just by looking at my face. I don't have to guess. You don't want to create like a semicircle. You want to still, you have like an open semicircle, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't. Now it looks like I've got a ginormous forehead. And the best part is I'm still not done yet. I'm just going to do a bit of as you can see, I've made my head look. Now I'm just going to go in and do the brow. So obviously my brow is here. However, I want to make a furrow brow. Furrow brow? I don't know. Basically, just make my brow look very angry. Oh, so demanding. And for this, you don't want it to touch the temple crease. You just want it to kind of chill out near it. So now you want to just take a flatter brush, basically rub it into the pigment and furrow your brow. So you can see all these little bits that kind of come off the brow to create a brow that looks really old, decrepit, and just destroyed. Just gonna blend it. Obviously just kind of bring it down You can blend it up a wee bit here, but you don't want to get into the middle. You want to just bring it down on either side of the bridge of the nose. That will help with the illusion of a very furrowed and angry brow. Make it look as cartoonish as possible, like a clown. You see that I just went back in there just to darken up the brow and also curl little section to make it look a bit more wrinkled. And then you just want to go in a wee bit and blend it all together. Just kind of create a nice seamless transition back to looking like you have no brow yourself. The clown is the brow. So going in with the same brush that we just used just now, I'm going in with like a very dark blue. It's like a very, very dark navy blue. And this is going to go on the inside corner of the eye here. And it's literally going to go all the way around. See where I have this kind of like a crease of skin? That is where I'm going to drag the blue to. Just kind of emphasize it a bit more. This is getting terrifying. Next, I'm going to be using it's like a midnight metallic color. So I'm going to be using this midnight metallic color. It's kind of like a aubergine background color, more like base color even. And how would you describe this? Maybe a black base? I don't know. It's really dark and it's got an aubergine base color and a bluish metallic sheen to it. Do you see that? It looks like a black beetle, like the sheen that you get in a black beetle. So this I'm going to be using very much for creating the outer corner of the diamonds on the eyes of the clown. Because obviously clowns have got diamonds on the eyes, duh. I'm gonna follow the outer corner of my eye. And then to the bottom half. The next color I'm going to use is kind of like a dusty ruby red, or like a brick red. It's like a brick red, but it's metallic. You don't have to use metallics if you don't want to. I like using them because I think some of the colors and the shifts in the colors can make a creepy look out of it. This is just going to match up with the other half of the diamond, and it's not going to connect all the way down here. It's just going to go like this. So you can see it goes into the eye. So now I'm going to go in with a bit more of an abrasive brush, and this is going to kind of destroy some of the makeup we put down, because why the fuck not, let's destroy some shit. Just be careful of going over your eyes, just because it can really hurt. Just kind of want to get that kind of wear and tear look. And the brush I'm using is by Locals. Just going to show some wear and tear. Look like this bastard has been hanging around for so long and it's just weighty. Now I'm just taking a little lick on the brush and dabbing it into the watercolor. Just adding some harsh strokes to certain places just to add in that darkness, but make it look wear and tearish. I got spit in my eye. Now that you've kind of like destroyed your face a wee bit, you've made it look really disgusting and grungy and filthy. What I did is that I then went back in with the same blue that we used here, and I just put it onto my eyelids and just harshly blended it up to kind of coat the white so it's not like pristine white in your eyelids anymore. And then I took some black and I just coated the bottom eyelid. Now I'm going to go in with like a raspberry tone, and this is going to be for the dimples on the cheeks. Oh yes, we love a clown that looks so joyous. They have rosy cheeks. Oh yes, indeed. I look like one of the toys from Five Nights at Freddy's. Where's a bit of creepiness without some vibrancy? Now I'm going to put on the nose. I'm not going to do a red nose. A red nose is just too cliche. Instead, I'm going to do a green nose. And the only color I could find that was like this acid green that I really wanted to use was a metallic green. And this is where I'm taking a reference from Jasmine Bean, because the way that she does her nose is the way that I want to do that nose, which is going to be fun. So basically, I'm just going to coat on the green and kind of goes on like a diamond shape as well. Can't really see it on camera, which is kind of annoying. So I switched from using metallic to using a matte. Now I'm going to go in and use a liquid liner to create some of these stitch marks. So the lips is going to get interesting because I'm not going to be using my top lip at all. I'm going to focus it on my bottom lip, drag it like a Glaswegian smile up into my cherry cheeks. Curve is going to start out gentle and get further and further aggressive. And the same for connecting back down to the bottom of my lip, the bottom of my bottom lip. So now that I've done the starter, I'm now going to go in with a black liquid lip. I mean, you could use a standard lipstick if you want, but how old are you? 1960s? I just caught the bottom lip. This one smells like strawberry milkshake, fuck yes. And then because you've done that, you'll get this black line that will go on the bottom of your top lip, and that will make it continuously look like there is a black line going through your lip. Now I'm just going to bring the smile and join it to the bottom of my bottom lip, and that should be the smile done. So to finish off the lip, or the mouth even, I took a red watercolor, like a burnt orange red watercolor, and I just used my spit basically, and that helped with filling everything, but also just move it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and you simply get this red-black blend that is kind of creepy. Well, I guess the last thing for me to do is just... Hello, children. It's such a pleasure to meet you. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I really hope you enjoyed me. Is this blood? Oh, it is. I love it so much. Blood is my favorite. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to look like a spooky, kooky clown. As you can see, I finished my hair by spraying it in some garish colors, and also by making it very spiky. My neighbors are probably wondering what's going on downstairs. Upstairs even, because I'm upstairs. Ooh. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to become me, you can follow this video to the T. But also, you know, it's even more spectacular if you subscribe to this channel, ring that bell button so you get notified every time I upload, like this video, favorite this video, and most importantly, if you really want to get on my good side, or if you're really into spooky things like me, you can follow me on all my social media. That will be linked down below. But for now, Flip your dead off.